Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Did the Caitlyn Clark hype slow down yet? Did the Caitlyn Clark train stop yet? Is the Caitlyn Clark effect no longer? Hell fucking no. Absolutely not. Caitlyn Clark making history against the New York Liberty, 1.86 million viewers, and peaked with 2.65 million viewers between 2:45 and 3 o'clock p.m. Viewership increased plus 215% versus last year's comparable CBS game, the Phoenix Mercury versus the Washington Mystics. Folks, if you can, in the comment section below, just do me a favor, jog my memory. Who are the few stars on the Phoenix Mercury? Diana Taurasi, Brittany Griner, Natasha. Forget all that, right? Forget all that. The WNBA is averaging 1.37 million viewers on CBS this season, up 132% versus last year. Make no doubt about it, folks. Those numbers on CBS, they're all Caitlyn Clark. There was one game, New York Liberty versus the Minnesota Lynx, that did do 762,000 on CBS. But other than that, the scales are tipped in one Caitlyn Clark's favor. She is tipping the scale. When the new CBA comes out, when these women are negotiating at the table, they all better thank Caitlyn Clark and say, hey, thank you for making us relevant. Thank you for making people watch when we're on TV. Thank you, Caitlyn. We appreciate it, because the numbers that you're bringing are skewing the WNBA average in such a direction that these advertisers might actually have no choice but to pay up. In the Caitlyn Clark era, WNBA audiences that would have once qualified as milestones have become routine. Saturdays, Liberty Fever WNBA regular season game averaged 1.87 million viewers on CBS, marking the fifth largest WNBA audience in the past 23 years. Each of the top five have come this season, and each of the top five have involved Caitlyn Clark and the Indiana Fever. If we're giving out points for fashion and what clothes we're wearing and what tour we're going to be on and how many Instagram videos we can put up and how many vines we can... If we're doing that, if we're counting that in the Rookie of the Years, can we count ratings? Can we count eyeballs? If we're counting who's more fashionable for the Rookie of the Year race, can we actually count a metric that, I don't know, makes the league look better than what it really is? Can we count that? No? Okay. It was worth asking, I guess. Moving on. Indiana's win, which peaked with 2.65 million in the 2:45 quarter hour, was the 11th WNBA game this season with a seven-figure audience, the most in any season since 2002. The WNBA entered this season having gone nearly 16 years without a single seven-figure audience. Clark and the Fever have played in 10 of the 11 games with a million viewers this season, and led into the lone exception of Sparks Aces on May 18th. 10 of the 11. In other words, y'all ain't nothing without me. All these huge ratings that you're championing are nothing without me. You need me. How do I know if I'm Caitlyn Clark? Well, look at you before I got here. And look at you now. Look at how the WNBA was treated prior to Caitlyn Clark's arrival, and look at how the WNBA is treated now. Look at the exposure the league is getting prior to Caitlyn Clark's arrival, and look at the exposure now. You guys need to thank your lucky stars. Caitlyn Clark came to save the WNBA, because without her, nobody's watching. And if she's not Rookie of the Year, if she continues to play how she's playing, all things considered, doesn't get injured, if she's not Rookie of the Year, that might be the straw that broke the camel's back. But moving along, as should be no surprise, the Clark Bonanza is translating into higher ad revenue for the networks. No duh. NBC is fuming right now. They are praying that Caitlyn Clark somehow takes Nafisa Collier's spot if she doesn't make it on Team USA, so they can recoup all the dollars that they won't be getting due to the foolish decisions of the Team USA basketball team. According to advertising analytics company, WNBA regular season games generated an estimated $12.4 million in television ad revenue through the end of June, up 36% from the same point last year and nearly doubling the same point in 2022. Up 36%. One player, 36%. This is incredible. The increase in ad revenue is relatively modest compared to the rise in advertising impressions. 2.2 billion through June, up 57% from the same point last year and up nearly 700% from just 278 million in 2022, up 700% from only 2 years ago. By comparison, the full regular season of women's college basketball generated 26 million in ad revenue off of 2.7 billion impressions. Fever games account for just over a third of the ad revenue and nearly half of the impressions. Let that sink in, everybody. A third of the ad revenue and half of the impressions. That is embarrassing. Not for Caitlyn Clark, for everybody else. Embarrassing. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Unless you're Terrence Howard, and then 1 × 1 = 2. If you know, you know. If you're aware, you're aware. Unless you're Terrence Howard, numbers don't lie. A third of the ad revenue so far, and nearly half of the impressions. Indiana has played in just 9% of the total number of national TV games. And they've already accounted for nearly a third of the ad revenue. Nearly half of the impressions. The analytics company estimates that advertisements during Fever games generate more than double the level of the engagement of those during other games, which the company measures by tracking behavior such as visits to advertisers' websites and searches related to their products. McDonald's is saying, yeah, 10 million for a Chicago Sky game. 20 million if you want me to be there for a Fever game. 20 mil. If not, I'm good on that. 10 million Coca-Cola. If not, 20 million for Caitlyn Clark. That's how much she's generating. Loads of money. Loads of money. Caitlyn Clark was not the only team in action on Friday. The Dudley boys were in action as well. Angel Reese had the amazing game, 27 points. I'm sorry, Angel. 13 rebounds off the top of my head. 14 rebounds, please. I'm sorry. Correct me in the comment section below. Maybe 11 rebounds, actually. Maybe 27 and 11. But regardless, Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter were in action, and it was regional action. So if you were on the East Coast, I guess you got Chicago Sky, Seattle Storm. If you were closer to the West Coast, you got Las Vegas Aces, Los Angeles Sparks. Regardless, as for the non-Fever games, Ion averaged 516,000 for regional action late Friday night, preceded by Dream Wings at 414,000. The network's 2 most watched games this season that did not involve or follow the Fever. So again, the regional action late Friday night isn't Angel Reese's number. It isn't Asia Wilson's number. It isn't Rickea Jackson's number. It isn't Nika Mule's number. It's all of their numbers combined, averaged together. 516. That's a solid number for Ion. Good for you. Good for you, Ion. Good for you. Now, about a month ago on Ion, Indiana, Washington did 1.02 million on Ion. And if you dig a little bit further, you'll see that LA Sparks versus Indiana did a bigger number on Ion as well. But again, you need to exclude the Fever games. Again, folks, when we take out Caitlyn Clark, these numbers are like, wow, these are really impressive. But how come I need to make a handicap? How come I need to give you all of these concessions for these numbers to look how you want them to look? With Caitlyn Clark, amazing. Without Caitlyn Clark, $500,000. Okay. All right. That's the natural growth of things. Natural growth, Caitlyn Clark. Natural growth, Caitlyn Clark. Or natural growth, Caitlyn Clark. Something like that. Spend Dana Podcast, we're calling a spade a spade. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Caitlyn Clark, do you see this slowing down? Folks, I might have to eat my words. That All-Star game might be a huge number. That All-Star game might be a 3 million plus. I might need to eat my words. But until then, not yet. Take it easy. Thank you.